Hello everybody and welcome to the last and final episode of this tutorial. At this stage, we have an almost fully working game, and in this episode, I will take you through the steps needed to display the score and add sounds to the game. So this is where we left off previously. We shall start by limiting the number of bullets the hero can shoot. Sometimes, either for the sake of performance, as in less objects on the screen, or for the sake of difficulty setting in a gameplay, you might want to restrict the number of bullets that can be fired on a screen at any given time. To limit this and to perform many similar tasks, FlashPunk gives us a very powerful set of functions. Out of these functions, we are going to use something called type count. This method can find the number of entities on the screen of a specific type. To achieve this, we'll use the constant bullet type from the GameConstants class that we declared in the previous episode, and we'll track the type of entity for bullets. We'll check how many bullets are on the screen when our hero fires a bullet every time. So in the hero class, before adding a bullet into the world, we'll write if this dot world dot type count, we'll pass game constants dot bullet type is less than 5, then we'll add a new bullet. The type count method returns the number of bullets of this type currently in the world. Let's save and run. You should not be able to fire more than 5 bullets on the screen at any given time. Now for the sake of testing and finishing the game, I'll change the limit of the bullets to 15 from 5. The next thing we'll do is to add a background image to our game. So let's embed the graphic asset that is required for the background image. We'll go to the GameConstants class, embed sources assets / bg.jpg. We'll store that in public static constant gfx_bg. Now since the background image is also one of the objects in our game world, we'll need to create a new class called bg in the entities package and extend it from entity class. Go ahead and remove the constructor parameters and also parameters from the super call inside the constructor. We'll go back to the game world class and go ahead and create a new private property of type bg, private var bg of type bg. In the begin method of the game world class, right before you initialize the hero, we'll initialize the bg property and add it to the world. Bg is equal to new bg, this dot add of bg. Lastly, we need to specify the graphic property of the bg entity in the constructor of the bg class right after the super call. This dot graphic is equal to new image. We'll pass game constants dot graphics for the background. We'll run and test. There we have a nice background for the game. The next thing is the score. Let us add simple scoring mechanism to update and display scores for each balloon popped. Say each green balloon gives us plus 10 points and each black balloon gives us minus 5 points. Let's create a class that will help us keep track of the score. We'll call that game variables. And I'll extend it from no other class. You may also remove the constructor. We'll declare a score variable in the class as public static var score of type integer, and we'll assign 0 initially. Now in the balloon class, inside the pop method, we'll increment this score by either 10 or minus 5. Before we go ahead and hard code it, as it is a best practice, let's declare 2 constants in the GameConstants class and assign these values. Public static const balloon green score of type integer is equal to 10 points. Public static const balloon bomb score of type integer is equal to -5 points. Now at the end of the pop method of the balloon class, we shall add these scores. If balloon color is equal to green, then game variables dot score is incremented by game constants dot balloon green score. Else, if balloon color is equal to bomb, then game variables dot score is incremented by game constants dot balloon bomb score. We just finished tracking the score. To display the score, we'll create a text field in the game world class. Note that we won't be using a text field type object. FlashPunk has a class that can be used for displaying text. Now it's not the only way, but it's a convenient way to display simple text. This is net.flashpunk.graphics.text. Let's create a private variable in the game world class. Private var score text of type text. We'll initialize this in the begin method. Score text is equal to new text. We'll pass a dummy string score : 0. We'll pass 10 and 10 as the x and y positions, as we want the score text to be displayed on the top left portion of the screen. Also, we'll add it in the game world. This dot add graphic will pass score text. Note the use of add graphic instead of add method. Now to update the score with the latest value, at the end of the update method, we'll add the following code. Score text dot text is equal to score plus game variables dot score. Now we are storing the game variable score property onto our score text's text property. We'll run and test. You should now see the score getting displayed and updated as you pop the balloons. We are done with the scores and we'll add sounds to the game. Now sound effects and music are considered another dimension to a game. In fact, they add the real value to the experience. Now let us do that by embedding the sound assets in the game constants class. Embed source is assets/pop.mp3. We'll store that in public static const snd pop of type class. I'll copy this and paste it 3 times. I'll change this to shoot.mp3, buzzer.mp3, and bgm.mp3. Now with the assets embedded, we'll use a simple class provided by FlashPunk called sfx. First, in the game world class, we'll import that net.flashpunk.sfx and we'll initialize and play the sounds. We'll create a private property, private var sfx bgm of type sfx. We'll initialize in the begin function. sfx bgm is equal to new sfx and we'll pass game constants dot sound bgm that we just embedded, and we'll write sfx bgm dot play and we can pass a volume level for that. We'll pass 0.5, which is 50%. We'll also say sfx bgm dot loop. Now this makes sure the background music plays in a loop. We'll run and test. Yep, we now hear the background music as we run the game. Similarly, to play the shoot sound, we'll declare a private property in the hero class, private var sfx shoot of type sfx. We'll initialize it at the end of the constructor. sfx shoot is equal to new sfx and pass game constants dot sound shoot. Now we'll play this as the bullet is added to the game world in the update method. Now right after adding the bullet, sfx shoot dot play. Again, to play the pop sound, we'll declare a private property in the balloon class. Private var sfx pop of type sfx. Initialize it at the end of the constructor. sfx pop is equal to new sfx. We'll pass game constants dot sound pop. Now we'll play this at the end of the pop method. sfx pop dot play. Finally, for the buzzer sound, we'll declare a private property in the balloon class. Private var sfx buzz of type sfx. We'll initialize that. sfx buzz is equal to new sfx. We'll pass game constants dot sound buzzer. We'll play this in the else condition of the pop method where the negative score is updated. sfx buzz dot play. We'll run and test. And the game now looks good with all the graphics and the sound and the interactivity that we expected. And that's it guys, we just completed building our game. The objective of this tutorial was to introduce you to the process that is followed while building a casual game. I hope you have enjoyed building this game as much as I have, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. If you have any feedback or questions, do write to me. Have a nice time.